Hey guys, and welcome to this little tutorial on Fast Achille. I just wanted to cover this real quick because it's recent strat and there isn't like any documentation I think, and I'm basically the only one who knows how to perform this trick, so I wanted to share the knowledge. So first of all, I want to say that this trick is very difficult. You're very dependent on your luck, meaning you need to get full Armageddon at the end of Dungeon of Despair from the Black Knight, or get a refill later on. But you have to have like so many ticks on Armageddon because you are going to be doing two Doom Strikes, three attacks on Achille, like regular attacks, and then you need four more ticks for Sophia. Okay, right from the start, this isn't mandatory, but I really like doing this. You jump to Achille, but I jump slightly to the right because when I hit him, he's going to get knocked back, and I want him to be as close to this left ray as possible. I will tell you why I want that later, like in a little bit. So I just play this, double jump, attack him. Sometimes he hits you here, and it's fine if you get hit here. It doesn't matter that much, so don't worry about it. The only thing is you have to be aware is your health if you are low, but still it does like only 1/4 of your health, so it's not that much. So after you hit him, I like you have to go close to one of these rays, these four rays. Like there's one here, one at the back, one here, and one in front of you. Because I went to the right and knocked him back to the little left, I like to go to this left one. And the reason is because after his purple shield, Achille is doing exactly two steps and then he's going to attack you. And you need those two steps to be close to you. The reason is going to be again given later on. But yeah, after his purple shield, luckily the timing is that when you double jump to him, he usually does those two steps. And again, you might get hit, but at this point it matters a little bit because you get knocked back a little, but it actually helps you to set up the next part, which is the hard part. So just remember this start phase, hit him for the right, go back to one of these rays you're going to be doing the trick from, double jump to him, attack him, and when you attack him, you're going to do a quick double jump that's like pressing X like faster than you usually do, and you're going to be pulling back to the ray. And once you do the quick double jump, like right at the peak, you want to turn around and do a doom strike. This is very tricky. Sometimes you just do like downward slash without doom strike. Sometimes you don't even get a chance to do the down slash. Sometimes you do it too early, which messes up the trick. Like this timing is very tricky. And because the positioning is like the hardest part of this trick. Because there's so little time to actually do all of this. It's so insane. And you have to do so many steps here. So the reason you're facing away from the ray you're closest to is because the meteors fall in a certain pattern. The last meteor falls like far away from you, which is how you are going to be hitting this last ray, like the ray most far away from you. Uh, if you want like some guidance where to aim, I would suggest you, or at least that's where I aim. There are these like melee ranks, and you want to be standing like in this little corner. So like it's the middle iron ring, I would say, the middle, and it's like at this intersection, right in front of one of the rays. And if you did it right, you're going to hit all of those rays. sometimes your positioning is a bit off and few things can happen. Like there are three scenarios that happens to me most of the time. The first one is that I don't get to hit the ray that's the furthest away from you. This is like the worst case scenario because now Achille is in your way and you have to go around him to hit that ray and he's going to gain a lot of health. Don't get me wrong, this is still faster than not doing the Doom Strike at all and just going around the circle and killing the rays one by one. The second thing that can happen and usually happens is that you're not going to hit the ray that's closest to you and the one that's on the right here. This is bad, but it's still savable, mainly if you have a shield throw and extended throw, because you can just turn around, slash this one that's closest to, and then with your mighty throw, you're actually able to hit this ray on the right. Sometimes, even if you hit the ray, it's like not going to kill it. I don't know why, to be honest, but just go closer to it and it should work that time. And the third thing that can go wrong is like the easiest one is that you are not going to hit the one that's closest to you. And even though this may look bad, most of the time it's actually savable, meaning that if you turn around fast enough and hit the ray that's closest to you, like this one, because it's the only one powered up, you can actually still kill all of those rays fast enough that Achille is not going to get any health back. But because my positioning was good in this example, I got them all. And when you get them all, what you want to do is go like right next to the ray that's closest to. This is because Achilles sometimes is just too close to and sometimes he knocks you back, which can mess your positioning for the next part of the trick. Because even though all of these rays are dead, he still does like 1.5 step towards you. But if you did it right, you killed all of those. Achilles should ring down again, and at this point he's like super close to, so what you want to do, you still have like those 2 steps before he attacks you and does anything. So in those 2 steps what I like to do is improve my position so the next part of the trick is easier. So what I do, like because this positioning was super good, I could go immediately turn out and attack him, but most of the time he's like too forward or something like that. So you can go to the right, for example, hit him from the right, and will be in a better position. It's easier to do the second Doom Strike. And here's again something very important. You still need to be facing away from the beam you're closest to and facing towards the beam that's farthest away from you. This is again because of the materials which I covered earlier. And sometimes this gets a little bit scary, as you can see here. Like it looks that you didn't hit all of those rays, but sometimes it just works and something kills it. As you can see, it looks like none of the meteors landed here, but it actually did hit it. So sometimes you have to be patient, and most of the times you don't have anything else to do because you ended so close to Akili that he's knocking you back when he gets big. But this is actually good. This is actually what we wanted because now you lost control of Maximo because all of the rays are dead and he's going into his next phase. But he's still big and still needs to do 1.5 steps towards you, meaning that he's going to end up right next to you, which is super important for this one frame trick in order to work. And because you got knocked back earlier, you're not going to get knocked back again. So yeah, but if you did it right, Achilles should shrink down. He shouldn't get any health back, and because he didn't get any health back, you are able to just overhead slash him once and kill him. So when he shrinks down, what I do now is I just spam triangle and I pray to get this one frame trick. sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's just mash and pray. Luckily, I got it here, and as you can see, you killed him, and you skipped one cutscene. But yeah, that's Fast Achille, and just to show you that you actually have enough Armageddon even for Sophia, I left the Sophia part in also. Like, this is like normal Sophia. Uh, Usually you would have one tick less because at the end of Dungeon of Despair you do one wave attack for the skeletons, and most of the time the one skeleton with the shield still survives and you have to kill him. In this attempt I didn't have to do that, so I was left with one tick more. But it's just normal Sophia fight, bam, and now wave attack her. And I'm left with two ticks. You would be usually left with one, or if you had to kill the skeleton guy at the end because you wanted it to use one key somewhere else, or you had to kill the bomber and you didn't have shield throw on lightning shield. But there's like something really important before I discuss more of these stakes, because if you get full Armageddon from the Dark Knight at the end of Dungeon of Despair, you actually wouldn't have enough if you didn't perform another trick that I'm going to show you now. I included it in this actually fast trick because it's like sort of correlates to it. So let me just change it. And yeah, it's this trick here. It's another Black Knight skip. Now there exists one setup by Pat, which is doing this trick from this little like fence next to him, right next to him. But I find that really tricky, so I wanted to find like more consistent one because I was struggling a lot with this one. But then found that you can actually do it from this lower step, but I still found that quite tricky. For me personally, maybe it's my personal thing. Maybe it works with you. You just have to experiment with this. I cannot help you sadly with that. But for me personally, I do it from this one up, this upper one closest to you. And I'm going to show you my setup right here. So I like land at the edge, but I keep a lot of space in front of me. That's because I needed to gain speed because I'm going to be moving forward. So I need to make sure that I gained enough speed to make the gap. And but I cannot like land at the end because otherwise the camera won't turn. So I land right roughly in the middle, turn the camera around, and now I'm going to be corner boosting off of this corner right here, and I'm aiming right between those two lines. Main, like you want to be aiming to the left of this line right here, so someone like here, but you can still make it if you like aim more towards the left. As as long as you aim somewhere in between those two lines, you can make it. So you corner boost off of this corner, aim somewhere here, and when you're roughly on the line of the purple barrier, you want to turn your stick hard right. That's because you need to land in this lower little space. So, like when you're on the level of the purple barrier, do double jump, turn the stick right to land right here in this little on this little lower platform, and from this I just do it a double jump to the boss. And just to show you that it was not a fluke, I actually this is like one sequence I performed it several times. So again, corner boost from that. This, as you could see here, I was aiming like super hard left. Here I was aiming almost at the one at this line that's most left, but I still made it. So there's like you have a lot of space to work here. It's this trick is forgiving. Practice makes perfect. And for the third time that you can see it's actually consistent. This is still just one session. Corner boost, aim in between, land on the roller and get it. And like this you are able to save 2 points on your Armageddon. And that is very important for you to do the wave attack on Sophia. But yeah, that's all there is to this new Achille. I hope you find this guide useful. Don't beat yourself too much if you cannot get it. This is like the hardest trick I have discovered so far. Even I struggle with it a lot of times. And yeah, that's going to be all for me. Thank you for watching.